to our special report on the annual Big Beautiful Bug Pageant, a pageant that's so exclusive, most people have never heard of it. This competition takes place all year long as insects across multiple orders compete for the crown. I've sat down with several contestants as we try to figure out who will win this year's Big Beautiful Bug. Excuse me, sir, do you have a minute for our report on the Big Beautiful Bug Pageant?
Absolutely.
I understand that you're representing over 100 different grasshopper species in North Carolina alone. Is that correct?
It is a lot of pressure, but I feel up to the challenge.
What separates you physically from the other bugs in this pageant?
Many of us grasshoppers have a long, thin antenna and strong hind legs which can launch us into flight for quick escapes. Most of us have a pair of fan-like hind wings which can be brightly colored, but normally they're folded up under long, straight forewings, so you can only see them when they launch into flight. We grasshoppers typically blend into our environments in shades of brown and green.
Very impressive. So what can we expect from you in the talent portion of the competition?
It was hard for me to choose since I'm both a talented athlete and a musician. If the mood strikes me, I can rub my tibia against the raised veins in my forewing to produce a raspy song which, let me tell you, the lady grasshoppers love. To avoid getting lost in the noise, I decided to show off my family's renowned jumping abilities instead.
Oh, so you're doing the long jump like an Olympian?
Miss, no offense, but humans have nothing on my family's talent. My high-powered leg muscles can propel me through the air about a yard, which would be about like you jumping the length of a basketball court or a 5-story building. Then directly after my leap, I'm going to launch into flight and flash my colorful hind wings. It's going to be spectacular.
Wow, well your flash coloration and jumping are sure to impress our judges. Best of luck in the pageant.
Thank you.
Over the summer, we were treated to the songs of grasshoppers and their relatives, crickets, katydids, and cicadas. But in the fall, I was treated to an interview with one of our showier contestants, Mrs. Monarch. When many people think of butterflies, they picture the monarch. Found in North America from Canada to Mexico, monarchs are not only famous for their beauty, but also for the spectacular migration they make every year. It's truly one of our planet's great natural wonders, and I was excited to get to speak with one. Mrs. Monarch, can you tell us more about your insect order, Lepidoptera?
Lepidoptera includes all those insects you call butterflies and moths. There are around 180,000 species worldwide. We have scaly wings, kind of tiny flattened hairs overlapping our wings like roof shingles. And we undergo a complete metamorphosis from egg to adult.
You've attracted quite a following even in the insect world. Other butterflies, notably Miss Viceroy, have tried to mimic your signature look of bright orange with black stripes and white spots. How do you feel about being a fashion icon?
Well, honey, functional fashion is what it is. Because I only ate milkweed growing up, my body contains toxic compounds which make me an unappealing meal to any predators. My striking color and pattern is just a warning. It says, back off. I'm not your dinner. Yes, Viceroy is a copycat, but they say imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Are there any causes in particular that you're trying to promote?
As a monarch, I'm thrilled to have several groups backing education, research, and conservation in my name. Our fight depends on the actions of people, from citizen science to gardening at home. By planting milkweed, especially milkweed native to your region, and native flowers, you can make a huge difference by supporting monarch butterflies at all life stages. We're the nicest neighbors you could have, I promise.
As an insect who migrates up to 3,000 miles, building up habitat nationwide is a concern for monarchs in particular. Can you tell us more about your yearly trip?
Well, as it turns out, I myself will not be making the long journey south this year. I leave that to my children. Monarchs have up to 4 generations of butterflies every year, with each generation traveling further north than the last one, which can reach as far as the northern U.S. and Canada. The last generation to hatch before autumn, which includes my babies, is the only one that will journey south for the winter. Our kind doesn't survive the cold winters around here, hence the migration.
Well, that is quite their tradition, and I understand that your family is here with you today.
They sure are. They're in the audience. They're really what it's all about. I want to help give my children and all of our children the brightest future possible.
I think we can all agree with that. Well, thank you for speaking with us, and good luck in the pageant.
It's always a pleasure meeting my fans.
Not every contestant this year had such an enchanting persona, but we didn't have to search far to talk to some of this year's scavengers and garden variety predators. Excuse me, Housefly. Can you talk with us a little bit about your entry into the Big Beautiful Bug pageant?
Who, me? Nobody ever wants to talk to me.
Now, Housefly, you have a long history with others that is not the most flattering. Certain members of your insect order are known to spread parasites and diseases. You yourself have been known to transmit dysentery and typhoid, causing some to claim that you are the world's deadliest organism. What do you say to this?
Sure, I get it. I walk on my dirty meals like dead animals and poops, and my feet get a little germy. Then when I land on your fancy picnic food, you get all upset about diseases and parasites. They don't make hand sanitizer for flies, you know. And sure, we houseflies vomit on our food when we eat, then soak it back up in our mouth parts. And you people don't like that either.
You are not saving your case here, Housefly.
But have you ever asked yourself what would happen to all that dirty stuff that gets left around if you didn't have guys like me picking it up for you, breaking it down by eating it and turning it into tiny fertilizer so you don't have to look at it or smell it anymore?
Very good point.
I'm nature's garbage collector. You don't like it? Then do your own decomposition. Preach, brother. It's always different day, same crap with these ingrates.
You're right. It's not a job I would want, but somebody has to do it.
You're telling me, besides garbage, some flies are important to forensic science and genetic research, with select fly species even used for cleaning and healing wounds post-surgery. You like chocolate? Well, then you can thank a tiny fly species for pollinating the tropical cacao plant. How do you like that chocolate? We flies have more roles than just garbage duty.
I understand what you're saying, and flies play a valuable role in our ecosystem, but could you not land on our food, please? You touch a lot of nasty stuff without washing up afterwards.
Then cover your food when you leave it. I'm never going to turn down a free meal. And I'm not gross. I'm a marvel of natural design.
Oh, how's that?
My compound eyes detect even the slightest movement. In flight, I can dart and I swerve on a dime because all of us fly species only have one pair of wings. Our second pair has been reduced to knob-like organs, which stabilize us in flight like gyroscopes. And when I land, my sticky foot pads are covered with tiny bristles, which create enough friction so I can hold on and even walk upside down. Can you imagine that with these heavy, hairless feet of yours? I'd like to see a spy replicate my moves for getting around a building. And you know what they'd call that movie? Fly on the Wall. Or maybe Fly, World's Deadliest Organism.
Whoa now, Paramount Pictures aren't calling you yet.
Ant, I'm so glad you came over. Though relatively small, ant has been considered the pinnacle of insect evolution by some insect guides.
Thank you.
Though estimates vary, I've read that ants can carry 10 to 50 times their own body weight. Is it safe to assume that weightlifting will be your talent for this competition?
Well, I've eaten nothing but protein for days, so you tell me.
Although different ants may eat sugars, fungi, and seeds, many ants are predators and get by through eating other bugs. Ants form a unique colonial family structure. Can you tell us more about that?
In general, there are 3 types of ants in the colony. There's the queen, who's the founder of the colony and lays all the eggs, the males who create eggs with the new queens, and then there are the worker ants, who are all female. We live in an elaborate underground nest of tunnels and chambers.
What sorts of jobs are available to a worker ant?
There's guarding and defense of the colony, food gatherers, nursery care, housekeeping and builders who expand the nest, to name a few. Worker ants often go through several jobs during their lifetime.
So what makes some ants queens and others workers? Is there an election process or...
Well, a study indicated that any female larva can develop into either a queen or a worker. But it's based on diet. More protein as a larva creates a queen, less protein creates a worker.
You don't have a king ant in this colony?
Nope. Workers and queen ants can live for a year, sometimes much longer, while males only live about a week, just long enough to help produce more ants.
Well, I see they're all supporting you. Good luck in the pageant.
For queen and colony!
For Queen and Colony!
Oh look, it's Ladybug and Mantis.
I don't know why that always happens. I already ate.
I prefer aphids.
Are you two competing in the bug pageant?
For the ladybugs, we've got over 480 species competing nationwide.
I ate a lot of contestants last year, so definitely. My kids are competing in the junior pageant too.
Aw, they look just like you.
Well, that's our Mantidae family. Even newly hatched nymphs look just like tiny versions of their parents.
So what makes the Mantidae family such fantastic predators?
Well, I'm a generalist predator, so I eat a lot of different bugs. I can swivel my head in almost a complete circle, so excellent vision, and amazingly fast reflexes. Housefly over here has a reaction time of 1/50th of a second, but even so, I can catch him mid-flight. Hey, I'm getting out of here! These appendages are great for gripping and holding prey.
And I'm sure camouflage plays some part in your success?
Sure, we mantids can resemble trees, leaves, and even flowers in some parts of the world. Our color varies according to the natural camouflage available, and some of us change color with the seasons as we molt.
You know, even for the big, beautiful bug pageant, you guys are pretty large.
Mantis sizes vary a lot. Native North American species are found in the south, but non-native mantids live throughout North America. Chinese mantids are the largest ones here.
So which one are you?
No comment.
It's all right, darling. Who here hasn't been introduced as pest control?
You know, I've read that famed citizen science initiative, the Lost Ladybug Project, is worried that introduced ladybug species might be displacing native ones. Would you care to comment on that?
All I can say is we're here now. Better get used to it, I guess. But I'm not out here to win. I just like the publicity. Members of the ladybug family are state insect for 7 American states. But I'm going for all 50. Woo-hoo!
To finish out our report, we now go to our special correspondent, Rebecca Martinez, who is covering the junior bug pageant held here in the park wetlands. This location is highly appropriate since wetlands are often considered a nursery for many young animal species, including young insect larvae. Rebecca?
Yes, the junior pageant has been filled with an exciting array of acts this year, with notable entries in the dance and master of disguise categories. None have caught my eye so much as the Lacewing larva, who we saw showing off her latest costume earlier this summer. In their larval stage, lacewing insects decorate the spiky hairs on their back with all kinds of tiny bits of organic materials, such as leaves, bark, even body parts of dead insects. These original camouflage outfits not only hide them from predators, but allow them to sneak up on their soft-bodied insect prey undetected. It looks like Lacewing will be fighting fiercely for this year's junior pageant crown.
Well, she looks stunning, and I think her thrifty talents are sure to impress our judges. Speaking of, I think we're all asking ourselves, who's judging this year's big, beautiful bug pageant? You know, Rebecca, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, I think they're all just terrific, but perhaps our audience would like to judge.
This pageant never ends, folks. All of us decide which bugs are fascinating, beautiful, and worthy of our attention. Search Go on a Bug Safari on the NC State Park's YouTube channel, and Sean Higgins will show you how to meet your buggy neighbors. You can also participate in lots of bug-based citizen science projects by entering your insect observations at home, school, or wherever you enjoy the great outdoors. It's a wonderful way to learn and to help in the fight for bug conservation. Well, thanks for joining us, and that's the buzz from North Carolina State Parks.